let's talk about digital transformation. You know, it's one of the biggest, most expensive things any modern business can do. Companies are pouring trillions of dollars into it just to keep up. But there's a huge, costly secret that's hiding in plain sight. Okay, let's just kick things off with a number that, honestly, it should make you pause. 70%. That's not a typo. According to a ton of industry research, the vast majority of these massive, company-changing projects just don't hit their goals. And that failure, yeah, it comes with a price tag that is just mind-blowing. A staggering $2.3 trillion have been wasted on these failed projects. And that's not just about the money, right? It's about all the lost time, the missed opportunities. So what on earth is going on here? All right, Section 1, a shocking rate of failure. So why are so many of these projects, even the well-funded ones, falling so short? Well, the biggest reason, the number one culprit, it's hidden costs. These are those nasty, unexpected expenses that pop up after you've already signed the contracts and started the work. They have a nasty habit of turning a perfectly good budget into a financial black hole. Okay, Section 2 is what we're calling the hidden cost iceberg. And this metaphor is perfect because what you budget for, that's just the tip. The real danger, it's lurking right below the surface. So let's break that down, right? On one hand, you have the visible costs. This is the stuff everyone thinks about. The software licenses, the new hardware, what you pay the vendors. But then you have the invisible costs. This is the stuff that really sinks the ship. The absolute nightmare of integrating new stuff with old stuff. The big dip in productivity while everyone learns, and all that technical debt that piles up from rushing things. Now, take a look at this. This really puts it into perspective. Those invisible costs, they're not some small little thing. We're talking up to 60% of the entire project's expense. That means most organizations are basically budgeting for less than half of what the project is actually going to cost them. These aren't just minor miscalculations, they're the bulk of the final bill. Section 3, Traps in Tech and Vendors. All right, let's start digging in. We're going to unmask the financial black holes that start with your tech and your contracts. So here are the usual suspects. You've got these legacy system integration nightmares, unexpected cloud costs that just spiral, and oh yeah, those sneaky vendor contract gotchas that you only find out about when it's way too late. Each one of these is a gap between your plan and the painful reality. Now, this slide is really interesting because it shows you exactly how this happens with cloud costs. When you're in the pilot phase, everything seems cheap, manageable. But the second you go to full production with real data, real users, bam, your costs can explode. We're talking double, even triple. That's a budget killer right there. And it's not just the cloud. The second you ask a vendor for anything custom, you know, that one little feature you really need, well, you can pretty much bet that it's going to cost 1.5 times what they first told you. It's a massive overrun, and it happens all the time. All right, Section 4. And this one is huge, the overlooked human cost. Because, you know, the tech part can seem easy. It's the people that are hard. And this is where most budgets completely fall apart. You see, it's like this painful domino effect. Training takes way longer than anyone thought it would. That causes a huge dip in productivity. People get burnt out, frustrated. That's change fatigue. And then what happens? Your best people start leaving, and your managers are so busy putting out fires they can't do their actual jobs. And this timeline shows you exactly what that productivity dip looks like. And look, it's not just a bad week. For the first 1 to 3 months, your team's output could drop by up to 40%. It can take up to a whole year to get back to where you were, and hopefully a little bit beyond. Just think about all that lost output. That is a massive, invisible cost. And what about when your top talent gets tired of the chaos and just leaves? Well, replacing them is incredibly expensive. We're talking up to 2 times their annual salary when you factor in recruiting, training, and all the knowledge that just walked out the door. It's a huge, unbudgeted hit. And this leads to a concept that's so important but often gets missed: management bandwidth drain. Think about it. If your leaders are spending, say, half their time just trying to stop the project from imploding, what aren't they doing? They're not finding new business. They're not innovating. The opportunity cost there is it's immense.
Okay, moving on to Section 5, the never-ending bill. Because let me tell you, just because the project is done, that doesn't mean you stop paying for it.
Just look at this. The second a new system goes live, your IT support desk just gets slammed. It's completely normal to see ticket volume double or even triple in those first 6 months. All those confused users need help. And that means you need more staff, more resources, and, yep, more money you probably didn't budget for.
And then there's compliance. Oh man, this isn't a one-time thing you just check off a list. It's a whole process that just keeps going for the entire life of the system. People budget for the initial setup, sure, but they forget about the endless cycle of assessments, audits, and reporting. It's a cost center that literally never goes away. And here's one last fact to, well, frankly, to terrify you a little. A lot of times, it's only after you've launched that you realize your data is a complete mess. And the cost to clean all that up, to fix the poor quality data that got rushed over, sometimes that can cost more than the entire system you just bought. Think about that. So, we're going to leave you with this question to take back to your own world, your own projects. I'm sure your project is budgeted. You've accounted for the tip of the iceberg, right? But is it truly planned for? Have you really looked below the waterline at all those tech traps, the human costs, that never-ending bill that sinks 70% of these projects? That is the real question.